got Darcy Kemper coming in. You got the big goaltender here. And, hey, I got to tell you, I want to, first and foremost, for the fans that don't know, Kemps and I played together early on in his career. And while we were playing together, we had this guy to my left, Weeksy. He would contact me, be like, how's this Kemper-Pedic? How's this Kemper-Pedic? This guy's nice. He go, Ruppy, this guy's nice. Do you like the nickname Kemper-Pedic? I love it. It makes you sound like this big monster in net, and that's exactly what you are.
Yeah, I liked it right away. It hasn't really stuck. It hasn't really followed me around, but it's pretty clever. Yeah,
we'll get it. We'll get it. We got to
get it. Well, we got to get him the contract, get him an endorsement deal with Tempur-Pedic mattress, and then that's a tie-in right there. So we'll get that. We'll get that going. We'll get that. Hey, congrats to you and your wife on the addition of the little one too. Yes. Congrats. How's that been so far?
Thanks, guys. Yeah, it's been great. I mean, it's the best thing ever. It's so fun coming home to him every day, and you know, I can't do much except for cuddle and change diapers right now, but that's all right.
That's big contributions, though. Those are big contributions. Yeah. Don't undervalue them.
Couple more weeks, Darcy.
Yeah, exactly.
Couple more weeks, Darcy. They start following you around the room. They're looking at you, and your heart melts. It's the greatest thing you'll ever do.
It's so true.
Congrats.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I love the Selly right here that we're watching too. That's pretty cool, man. You think about that? Was that just heat of the spur of the moment kind of thing, or what?
I actually remember watching. I think it was a football player doing it on Red Zone one day a couple of years ago, and so it just kind of popped to me in the moment and kind of pulled it out, and it was fun.
Kemps, let me ask you a question, because I'm a gear guy, and you're on the right side of this because you were the right brand, being a Vaughn guy as well. Tell me a little bit about your inspiration for your gear. You always have sweet setups, but tell me a little bit about your inspiration for your gear.
Well, to be honest, I got to give Adam Burkle from Vaughn a lot of credit. He usually sends me, you know, a few different samples of mock-ups that he does, and then I pick from there. So he usually leads me on the right path, and then my decisions are pretty easy from there.
Let me ask you a dumb question, because I don't know this. That's a totally different arena as far as goalie gear. So when you say he does these mock-ups, do you know the specs that you want, and he gives different looks, or are you talking just different specs, different looks, everything?
Well, yeah, no, my specs stay the same mostly, but he kind of plays around with the color schemes and different looks on the front of the pad is what I mean by the mock-ups, and then I pick from there, and it's you know, so far they've always turned out pretty good.
Hey, you did have this one incident. There's your year 2 in the league, and I don't know if this ever happened to you, but your helmet got broken or dinged up or something happened in the game. You had to put Nicky Backstrom's helmet on. Or sorry, Matt, I call it a helmet.
See, you're not ready. Not ready.
I'm like one of so out of touch with the goalies. I'm sorry, the goalies union. The mask. Your mask broke. You had to go to the bench, and you got Nick Backstrom's. Like, what does that do to you? Is that like, is it uncomfortable? Does it smell? Like, what? I have so many questions. All of that. All of that. Go ahead.
I remember the strangest thing is I always use the chrome cage, and he has a white cage, and it's so different looking out of it. I'm sure I could have got used to it, but luckily I only had to use it for a whistle or two. It was only a few minutes, and then I got my own back.
Go ahead, Boiler.
I mean, I don't even know what to say. It's so far outside. Well,
they're not ready.
Let me ask you this. I'm not ready. Do you have anything outside the box, I would say, like a la Marc-Andre Fleury in terms of what you got cooking with Vaughn with pads? Because I will say this.
Yes.
Andy Moog was a guy I loved because of his mask. And I loved his glove saves.
Vaughn guy, too.
I really did love that. And then they had that Curtis Curve.
Curtis Curve, of course.
I was kind of a gearhead with the goalie stuff.
Oh, it's finally come out. It's finally come out.
When I was little. Then they put me at fourth line and killing penalties, and I had no more personality. Just had to go in straight lines. But do you have anything cooking, maybe? Mix it up a little bit?
Nothing so far for this year. Last year we had the reverse retros, so I got to play around with those a little bit. This year we're no special jerseys, so maybe as the year goes on we'll cook something up. But so far, what you see is what you get.
Kemp, so I'm going to tell you now. You know, the nation's capital. You can have the Capitol building on the White House across the front. an American Eagle across the front.
That's a good option.
Yeah,
Don't give it all away.
We'll talk offline.
Text him.
Yeah, we can talk
well,
offline.
I'll have to pick your brain a little bit.
Yeah, he only charges a very minimal fee.
It's a minimal fee. Thank you, Rupert. Thank you. We know Kemp's is good for it. He's making cream. He's making enough sheets. So we're good.
Earned it.
Yeah, exactly. You got that right.
I want to ask you this. He mentioned Boyle mentioned Marc-Andre Fleury, and we talked to him a couple weeks ago, and I remember playing with him, and he always said, and he always in the NHL wanted to score a goal, which he's taking shots at it. Right?
Yeah, no question.
I think Flower will play till he gets a goal. And he always wanted a goalie fight, and we saw him last year trying to get it with Jordan Binnington. And I don't know, I'm thinking back to goalies I play with, and Flower, to be honest, I love his game, how he's a gamer and he wants to fight, but when you see his build, I'm like, maybe you shouldn't, man. I'm just being honest with you. You're a guy I'd be like, I wouldn't want to tango with you as far as a goalie. Has that been something? There's a play here that I remember watching you. I'm like, oh, it's go time for Kemps. You remember this moment, obviously. I was like, yeah, throw him down. Look at this. Starting a melee. You ever gotten a goalie fight, Kemps?
No, I haven't. That's probably about as close as I've gotten. We'll see. I mean, if the right moment comes up, maybe it'll happen. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think about it very much, but you can't be telling people that you don't want to tango with me, and then it'll make it a lot harder.
Kemps wanted to smoke there. You could see it. He wanted
form
to smoke.
tackles.
Yep, he wanted to smoke. Hey, Kemps, I'm going to ask you another one here. So I've noticed this because my wife's from Alberta, and I've been through all the Red Deer where you played junior for Brent, and just this past summer, really all the spots, Lacombe, Brooks, the whole deal. Every time you play the Flames, you seem to stone them. Do you get up for playing against them in the oil, specifically with you being, an Alberta guy?
Yes and no. It's always fun playing against those teams. They were the teams that were closest to me growing up, and nowadays my family usually can make it out to those games or friends. So those games are always special, close to home, family in the crowd. So you always want to be your best for them.
Totally. And you play for free in those games with all the tickets. So
yeah, exactly.
It's the worst.
Yeah, you're playing for.
It's the worst.
You're a big family guy too, Boiler. So those hit you.
I didn't make goalie money. I didn't make starting goalie money either.
There we go.
That's why it's good being from Cleveland. I don't got to worry about that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Barons.
In the American League, I had to buy a couple tickets. But anyways, hey, I got to ask you before we got a little game I want to play with you. Before we get to it, though, I think it was last year I interviewed you. My boy Rogue. Rogue's his name?
Yeah.
Your dog?
Correct.
How's Rogue doing? That's the coolest looking dog ever. Tell everybody if they don't know what kind of dog it is again.
Yeah, he's a German Shepherd.
Oh, Lord.
He's awesome. He's a big brother now, so he basically follows the little guy around and make sure
I love it.
Make sure he's always taken care of now. So he's been great.
I love it, man.
Can I ask one more before we go?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yep.
Being a Stanley Cup champ, thinking of being a young kid and playing street hockey and mini hockey in the hotels and the tournaments and getting hockey cards and all that stuff. What was it like for you when you guys won that Stanley Cup?
I mean, it's hard to put into words. It's pretty crazy to think about. How far you've come from being that little kid, just playing for fun in the outdoor rink to kind of playing on the biggest stage, and then to be able to win it. It's truly a blessing, and so fortunate to be able to experience that and have my family at the game. It was unbelievable.
Amazing.
That's great. That's great stuff. It was fun watching on that ride too, man.
Yeah,
you were outstanding. That
Absolutely.
team was fun to watch. We got a little fun part here. This is called What Were You Thinking? We're going to show you some pictures. You let us know what you were thinking.
Yeah, fill us in.
Sounds good.
Right there. Look at that. That's who I remember right there.
Yeah, super excited.
The first 15-year-old to ever get a win in the NHL.
Yeah, I look pretty young there. I was just super thrilled. Obviously, just to get a chance to play in the NHL, but then to get my first win was unbelievable.
That is, can you imagine? That's 2013. How's that time flown by? It's crazy.
I know, right?
Yeah, a
Amazing.
long time ago.
Makes all those bus rides in the dub. All those bus rides in the dub are worth it, though, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
And we got this one. I love this picture here. And this is lots going on, a lot to process here. But Brian Boyle's at the top of this one too. Or actually, you're at the top. Brian's at the bottom left. What are you doing, man?
I actually can't remember this, but it looks like I'm just kind of soaking it all in, just kind of listening to what everyone's saying and waiting to see if anything's going to break out.
Why didn't you grab Boiler like you grabbed Matty Tkachuk and rifle him down to the ice? This interview would have been so much more fun.
I was a little bit younger back then. Yeah, I was just trying to stay out of it.
Hey, you know what, Kemps? Those guys get paid on the 1st and 15 too. You let them handle that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
On ice security. Go ahead and handle it.
Not even looking at me there. He's got no. It's like this. I'm not worried about him. Scandella had me. We fought a couple times.
You fought Marco Scandella a couple times?
He's strong.
Scandy's a big boy, right?
Strong.
I remember.
Really big boy. Yeah,
Big
really
boy.
big boy.
Oh, nice,
Not
man.
as big as me.
No, as big as you. No. When we had Chara on yesterday,
Chara is
and we had Big Z on yesterday. Beat the wheels off me, beat the wheels off him, and Big Z's trying to be humble. He's like, "I'm sorry, you guys are. I'm just doing my job."
Saying how much respect.
It's okay, man. It's all said and done
totally
now.
him.
But anyway,
That's totally him.
all right, we got another one here. We'll take a look at. I mean, what a moment this must be. And we were trying to figure out, is that Devon Taves coming up to you right there?
That is Taves. Yeah. I remember just not looking up at the clock, and then because I didn't want to start doing the countdown, and then the buzzer went, and just kind of losing it. Try to get my stuff off as fast as I could, and excited to get to my teammates.
That was unreal, man. We were there working that game, working the series, of course, and it's just always so special. It's always so special to see, and for you guys to be living the dream and doing that and making history. That's awesome.
You know, it's cool too because, again, like, not to make it about that. I know we played with each other briefly for those couple years, but I love when I'm done playing now. People always say, you know, I played for 6 teams. Who do you root for? I root for all the teams I play for, but more importantly, I root for the guys I played with. To see them up and coming, and you were up and coming, working hard, and being a goalie in this league, and you've earned everything you've gotten. But like, that's what's cool, seeing you hoist that cup.
Yeah.
You know, the guys like
Marchessault last year.
Yeah, like you're recently done, and you see your boy Jonathan Marchessault, and you saw what he had to go through.
Yep.
Like, that's the cool stuff, man. So I love seeing pictures like that with you, Kemps. We got one more, I think. Terrifying picture. Oh. What's going on here?
Hey, that's so good.
Someone holding up a leaf blower to your face?
Probably what the hell do they got me doing right now?
That's at the media tour, but that looks like that's at your local dentist.
Yeah.
You wore your goalie gear to the local dentist chair, and they're like, "Okay, we just want to check for any cavities,
for any tartar."
That's how it felt. That's how it felt.
Hey, well, hey, dude. Give the little guy a high five. Give the pat on the head to Rogue. We appreciate you coming on, and we'll catch up with you down the road, buddy.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on, Kemps. Keep it going.